laughing at, Travis?
Just, you know, Uncle Paul.
Uncle Paul.
Yep.
You have a daughter, and you can still find the humor.
It's hysterical.
What if you specifically started bringing up your daughter, though? Probably wouldn't be.
He only speaks to my daughter as Uncle Paul.
Oh,
when we're over at Anthony's house.
When we traveled to Comic-Con last year, every single young person, every single child, every toddler that we passed on the street, he would say hello to them by name. Hello, Arthur. Hello, Janelle. Tina in California. California. What part? Are you from Miami, California?
Close.
Orange County?
Miami.
What's up, Tina?
I learned that when I come to New York, I need to order extra sauce on my pizza.
Extra sauce. Okay. Whoever's screening phone calls.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Whoever's screening phone calls wrote that Tina learned that when you come to New York, I learned that you need to order extra socks. Who's screening phone calls?
Your favorite intern.
Okay, bring Rob in here.
No, not him.
Are you kidding me? The one who messed up with yesterday?
Connor, go.
All right, let's talk to Connor about phone screening.
I want to know.
Socks.
Yeah, I want to know why that makes sense.
Exactly.
Let me
That's
get
the
an answer.
question. That's the question to ask.
That's what used to happen, like, with some of our other phone screeners. I would see them write something, and I would say, what does that mean?
No.
And they would say, I don't know. And I'd
Okay.
say, well, then why would you put it up on the screen?
Okay, Connor, you had a rough day yesterday, correct?
Yeah, I did. I'll admit to that. Yeah, I completely fucked up yesterday. And
Here
today.
comes Rob and his web toes running up the hall to pick up the slack.
He's trying not to catch air. That's the problem when he's running.
Now, you wrote that Tina, who called in to say you have to order extra sauce, because that's what Opie said for his pizza, said that when you come to New York, you have to order extra socks. Is that what you thought she said?
That's honestly what I thought she said.
Okay, now, what sense does that make?
I don't know. I've been listening to Worst Stuff clips and organizing that all day, so I didn't really get a chance to listen to all the show. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was just something that I
need a phone screener who is confident that they know more about the show than the caller. Like, I don't need the caller being able to convince the phone screener, no, I swear to God, you missed it. They did a great bit about socks today. Because if she was indeed saying, you know, I learned you have to order extra socks, I'd be like, what are you talking about? And she'd be like, Baba Booey. And I'd be like, what happened? You know what I mean? That's part of phone screening. You have to screen. It's not, you're not the receptionist.
Yeah, you don't put everybody through.
Right.
Right.
You have to just screen through these people who are talking about socks all day. Because I don't want to sit on after Open Anthony Live and talk with anybody about socks. You know what I mean? Because what does that have to do with anything?
I just bought the best socks.
Like, I would have thrown Danny out of the studio. I would have been like, who's talking about socks today?
Right.
So you can't have Tina tricking you and saying, yeah, Sam called me earlier in the week and said I should call in today about socks. And you're like, okay, and put her on. Because you're Connor, the call screener. You have the power of hanging up on people. Do you hang up on people when you're screening calls?
Yeah.
Like, what would you hang up on? What's a call you would or have hung up on?
Just as an example, like if somebody, like I can't hear what they're saying, like there's a lot of wind or they refuse to turn on the radio.
It's a bad phone, something like that.
So as long as they're audible, you get through.
Yeah, you don't have to say any shit of any substance.
Well,
what happens
for those
that
just instantly dumb.
Those
Hey, is this old name? Ting Tang Pineapple. Okay, hold on.
For those that don't know, when you call the show, when you call the Opie and Anthony show, when you call after Opie and Anthony Live, you have to go through one of us or one of the interns before you can get on the live show. And the they'll sneak through and add nothing. In the case, sometimes you can get through talking about socks.
There's ate shit coming in here.
Yeah, I know what happened.
How'd it taste?
It tasted terrific.
What's going on, Sal?
No, nothing. I just want to say that the people who call in
About socks?
just to the Opie and Anthony show in general.
You said the name wrong. What are you, a fucking rookie?
Because I'm fucking catching my
What,
breath.
you
nearly
work for
fucking
Fox
dying on
News?
this goddamn fucking
Opie
rug.
and Anthony are
Opie
back
and
in the
Anthony.
news.
No, but just it is a very difficult thing to deal with the people who call into O&A.
Yeah, but if somebody called up and said, hey, Sal, I would like to talk to Sam, and what I learned today was that when you come to New York, you need an extra pair of socks. Wouldn't you be like...
I'd be like, that's great, and I'd hang up on them
Okay.
immediately. Or I wouldn't even say that, I'd just hang up on them.
Right, you hang up and you go to the next
Right.
call. You got those
Or
buttons.
you know what, by the way? You could just, there's nothing wrong with saying to the caller, like, I don't get it, and then they'll explain it And then
I
you go,
did.
oh, okay.
I did.
Right. That's what, there's always, you'd say, well, what do you mean socks? What are you talking about?
I love when Danny answers the phones.
Well, Danny once got kicked off. Danny was once suspended from call screening for like years because he called listeners.
He was once suspended for years.
Yes, like he couldn't call screen for years.
That's when I took over.
Because one of the listeners complained that the phone screener had called him a cunt. And that was Danny wrong.
A lot of you guys are cunts out there, and you know it.
So
You're a bunch of cunts,
that's another
all of you.
thing, Connor. This is another thing that you're learning today. Don't call people cunts. If somebody says,
Call him a cunt.
If somebody calls up,
If
and
you have
says,
the inkling in your head that goes, the guy on the phone is a cunt, he's a cunt.
no, but don't tell him that. If somebody calls up and says, "Hey, I want to talk to Sam about socks," don't be like, "Don't be a cunt." He doesn't want to talk about socks today. Just be like, "I don't know why you would think that was an appropriate call," and hang up.
You're saying there's like a happy medium.
There's something in between.
Putting them on the air
Listen
and
up,
calling them
cunt. Nobody's talking about socks.
Look at the people and look at the quality of call that you get on this radio show. You have to handle people like that,
Yeah,
or
but
else you're going to get calls about socks.
You got a hang up button. You could just hit the button and then they're out of your lives forever. You don't have to.
You know who's telling me this?
You don't have to
a
make
fucking
them
guy
pay.
who's never screened calls for the show before.
I have
That's who's telling
absolutely
me this
screen
shit.
calls.
Well, here's the thing: is
You
when
don't have to make them pay.
When you first start screening phone calls, and this happened to me too. You know, like you forget that you really do have a lot of power, and you're never going to see or hear these people again. So like,
Yeah.
it's not a personal thing if they don't have something good to say. It's your job to screen them out. And if somebody doesn't have something good, you say, "All right, thanks, man," and you hang up,
Right,
and
but
you
you know
never
what, though?
think about it again.
Sometimes when you're trying to, like, if you got a good topic and phones are lit up like crazy and you're trying to get everybody on, or you're trying to at least get as many good ones in there as fast as possible so that the hosts can have just a huge bank of phones to go to at any time. So sometimes someone will call in and you have to make that decision, that split decision. Is this good enough? And then you go, "All right, man, thanks," and you hang up on them.
Right.
And that's fine. But then here's when someone's a cunt. When they fucking call back and they go, and I'm like, yeah, I heard your call and I didn't think it was good enough, so I hung up on you. Fuck you, man. Fuck you.
I mean that's always going to be a problem. Is that
And then
is
they
that
get, well,
these
hang on.
listeners-
Then you get hung. Then you go, "All right, dude," and you hang up again. And now this fucking guy is gonna have at it with you for 30 minutes, just busting your balls because you didn't put his shit phone call through.
And as if you don't recognize the fucking phone number as it's coming in.
Right, but this one, here's another one I love. You got 13 lines lit down the line,
Right.
And then some guy, I guess his phone cuts out or Ope hangs up on him or whatever, and then the guy calls back. Yeah, my phone cut out.
I specifically remember everything about you and your
I fucking
name.
know you, dude. I don't know your name. I don't know nothing.
Every time anybody ever said, "Yeah, my phone cut out," I would always say, "Tell me again, what was your call?" And as they were saying it, button push. See, I never ever yelled at any of the people calling in. It's just like, okay, they're like, "Hey man, you hung up on me."
No.
Oh, okay, what was it that you have? Click.
Well,
as they're saying it.
Sometimes
Hang up.
Sometimes you are the first round of the screening process, but then the last round of the screening process inevitably takes place in here, in this studio, in that chair. So sometimes when you get hung up on, it's not the screener, it's the host. He doesn't want to go to your call. Don't call back and be like, "Yeah, my phone cut out." No, it was decided that your call was not worth it.
Then why'd you hang up on me?
Unless
If you're ever on hold and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere,
Right.
your call is ended, don't fucking call back.
Unless your phone legitimately cuts out, in which case we may want to get to your call. So you got to make sure of that too. So maybe you call back and just check with Connor. And just tell him you want to talk about undergarments. He'll throw you right through. Yeah, you were doing worse stuff. They talked about it earlier. You got it, buddy.
That's what people are going to start doing now. Now they know that